and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young TV.
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young.
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom alaikum.
Young TV.
I'll let people come in. So this is Chiefing with the Chief, open Q&A, and subtitle is "Are y'all watching?" So I'm gonna give y'all a chance to come in. As y'all come in, please share. As you come in, hit the share button so we can get as many people in as we can. So I'm going through my invites because I asked a question yesterday. Who wanted to ask questions on the live? I haven't done one in a while, and I'm still in Instagram jail, so I can't even do a live over there. So I done invited all of the people they're gonna let me invite. So I'm gonna give a few minutes. If somebody wanna come up, y'all can send a request. I don't know how I'm gonna know. Y'all send me a request if y'all want to come up and chat with the chief for a minute. I don't know how long Facebook gonna let me okay, first one first. See how they gonna play us today. This edition of Chiefing with the Chief. Okay, I'm not getting no response on that. That was it said Nikki decline. Oh, okay, that's just okay. That ain't the request to get on. That's the request to get on. I was accidentally trying to add people that might be shy to talk on the live. Nervous, talking from the people. You know, so. Okay. Says she declined. Nikki Dixon. Come on up. Let's see what the people want to talk about. See if y'all paying attention to the movement of the energy that's taking place around the world in real time. What's up, Chief? We doing open Q&A, Chiefing with the Chief session. Okay, so that's another decline. If you want to come up, send a request. A couple of requests, they just said that they didn't want to come up. So if you want to come up, chat with the Chief, you know, it's not letting you. Hmm. That's crazy because, okay, let me see something. Okay, now I see what's going on. Got it. Hey, you on there? I don't see you.
Yes. Hey.
I can,
Oh my God. I'm rotating. I am. Can you hear me?
yep, I can hear you. I can't see you though. You got something covering up your camera?
Okay. Let me, let me take my phone case off.
Is your camera
Uh,
turned on first?
I thought it was on. It is.
Okay, you might have to flip it because you might be filming the back of your case. So you
Okay.
try to flip it first. That's the circle on the upper right. It's the third one down with the circle on it. That'll flip the camera.
Okay. Upper right. Okay. This phone is acting crazy and I'm sitting still. So, oh my Lord. And I have everything off. Nothing is blocking my phone.
Okay, well, we're gonna chat with you when people just won't be able to see you.
Okay. Peace and blessings. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, how you doing, sweetie?
Um, I am great now that I can speak to you personally. This has been heavy on my heart. Wow. Wow.
Catch your breath. Take your time.
Thank you.
You
Okay.
talking, act like you talking to one of your brother friends. He brought in the house.
That's exactly.
He stepped on all. He didn't stepped all over the carpet. Didn't wipe his feet at the door. Your brother ain't saying shit to him. You looking at both of them like they crazy. Now you can tell him what you need to tell him.
That's right. That's right. It's a pleasure to be online with you. It's an honor. Thank you for accepting my call.
Oh, you welcome, sweetie. Oh man, I do what I can when I can. That's all I could do.
That's true. That is true. What's been on my mind is I've been seeing a lot of death, but mainly like by accidents or visions of how my family or I will find them. And I've been, you know, this journey I'm just on this journey and I'm learning and I'm always excited when you come on and you always answer my questions without me
Can I
having to ask.
can I ask you something? When you say you keep seeing death, do you mean psychically or do you mean in the physical world actually taking place?
Mm, psychically, um, like a deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and the devil is a lie. And then I go down and I see my family members, or I rotate somewhere else to get that off my mind, and or I go back there and chief with my mom, and we talk about it sometimes. So, just want to know, what does that mean, and am I receiving messages?
Okay. In the psychic realm, the mind uses exaggeration as a means to make something stand out in your waking state to the play out in reality. The
Okay.
extreme exaggeration psychically of change is called death.
Right.
Death don't always mean somebody gonna die. It could mean something in somebody, like they've learned, had an awakening, and they finna kill a bad habit.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
So, like, for example, if you having a vision, a reoccurring vision of somebody stumbling out of the nightclub, drunk, sloppy drunk, falling down, getting ran over by a car, then it might be the car is the catalyst to a drunken night out that wakes this individual up and makes him kill the alcoholic in himself so that he can progress on his shadow work to the recovery of the self.
You just answered my question, and I have to do my shadow work. I don't know why it's alarming or a resistance for me, but I speak it instead of writing. So I think I'm focusing too much on the writing and not focusing on how I'm doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So the method, while you trying to figure it out, you using a training method. It's just training you to focus on the frequency. You use journaling. Some people use tarot cards. Some people use runes. But you're training yourself in the physical world with a like teaching the child to write with a pencil. You're training yourself with these implements, and you programming yourself with ritual.
Okay.
Things you do ritualistically is programming you to how to execute whatever your game plan is. It's just that most of us game plan is predicated up on some stringy hippie coming out of the clouds with a philharmonic orchestra and a nightgown on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we focusing on the wrong frequency of energy to properly tune in our psychic resources. Nature is going to figure out a way to teach you. Your deja vu moments are the moments in your book of life where you said, this is a flip. This is a tie me back to something else that I told me to remind me of, and it gave it to me in this surreal experience that they classify as deja vu. The sense or the sudden feeling that you've done this before or lived this moment before. But it's a point in your consciousness where you pinned it so that you focus on events of the day to try to figure out, why would I tell myself in my book of life to put this loop here? Because that's what it is. It's a pin loop. It's tied to something from the past that you was working on. So now you finally have whatever it is to overcome it. So you have to be reminded of when you was working on it on the past, so that you become aware that you now have the tools to fix the problem in the present. This is all part of the breaking the generational curses and shadow work too. This is all tied together.
Okay. And I am a caregiver for my mom and dad, and I have my kids living with me, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I remember seeing one of your videos about the caregiver, and I can't find it, but what advice would you give a young woman, retired military, 22 years, holding it down? And I'll stay to myself, but I've been, let's say, I have not been. What I will say is, people that I thought were real to me, because I'm real to them, have walked out of my life. I look at it as a lesson and I've learned, but what advice could you give me to, I guess, to subconsciously tell me it's okay to move forward and it's going to be all right?
You need a sister group that'll enforce your self-care.
Ain't that the truth?
This is why we never allow any of the sisters to tend to the elders by themselves. We always had a way where we can bring a team together that's doing similar stuff.
Mhm.
so that they can rotate and cycle and give everybody a chance for self-care.
Mhm. Mhm.
Caregiver syndrome, you become so focused on caregiving others. This is why the father is so important to the mother, because he's supposed to enforce her self-care so that
Mhm.
she's more functional for the children, because he want her to be at peak performance if he love her and he love his family.
Mhm.
And to keep her at peak performance, he have to make sure she have a stand-up solid sister group that's not gonna have her out there on BS when she going for me time. You know, they can do stuff together with her to get her out of the house, get her away from the children, make her tend to herself some, take her on
Mhm.
spa day, you know what I'm saying? Or one of them just might have a chill pad,
Mhm.
right? But you need your sister group so that you can be forced by your team, because it'll make it easier for you to adhere to your self-care. That they call it peer pressure support.
Mhm.
So you using your team of sisters, y'all. This is what the Califia queens used to teach all of the priestesses and the daughters to the chiefs across the land. That's why they had the women's resort to teach this stuff, because the settlers came and told the women, they turned them against each other so that they can break
Mhm.
up the sisterhood. They used something called the broken mirror spell, where they broke a mirror on the crossroads
Mhm.
and cast a curse on the sisterhood of the priestess of the land to make them be hostile towards each other and not recognize each other. That was a conjure,
Mhm.
right? The conjure has been broken the last couple of years because I had to work with the descendant of the person that was responsible and make her break the spell, because it has to be, if the person not here to break their own spell, they have to have a worthy descendant, blood relative, that breaks
Mhm.
the spell. And this is how you end up figuring out how to close all of the conjures at a higher level of Hecka magic, by knowing who the descendants is, by the work that they doing in their life. It's going to reveal them. And that's how we was able to close out that Haitian revolutionary conjure, because they sent soldiers to Florida after the French left Haiti,
Mhm.
and they sent priestesses and priests to New Orleans, and they
Mhm.
was working together using what they call cross conjure support. The conjurer of the tribes of the land was being spiritually supported by the warring energies that was being taken from Haiti.
Mhm. Okay.
Haiti is about to have a big breakthrough moment of peace and celebration coming any day now.
Mhm.
And this is all going to be based on the new world coming into being. Haiti has been deliberately held last, so they going to have to be publicly made first.
Okay. Got you.
And
Got you.
and that's when all of the tribal systems around the world gonna start exposing the efforts that they was making to take the land back from the corporations.
Mhm.
And all of the time we thought we was fighting each other. We was fighting corporations versus people. It
Okay.
was the zombie apocalypses to take over a straw man, and we was fighting this conjure war, but most of us was totally oblivious to it, because we only believe in the reading, writing, arithmetic that the 12 gauge step down detox from critical thinking program
Mhm.
called school has conditioned us to accept,
Right.
right? So
So
yeah,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead,
Go ahead.
sweetie. Go ahead, sweetie.
I was just gonna ask. I watched your video with Young Elder the other day. Oh, that
Mm-hmm.
was very, very insightful. Thank y'all so much, and peace to Young Elder as well.
Shout
For
out to the
now,
young
about the.
country boy.
I'm sorry.
I said, shout out to the old country boy.
I was just going to ask in regards to the straw men, and we we haven't done any paperwork to say that, I know you were saying something about paperwork, don't worry about it. It's not a fear thing, it's just a better understanding.
Yep.
So what advice would you have for me on that?
Okay. So the abandonment of the contract is the refusal to make contracts knowingly in the future and not maintenance in current contracts by
Mm-hmm.
signature, right? So you abandon the contract. And if you look it up, it's called the abandonment defense in law. When you
Mm-hmm.
discover the fraud, in order not to be categorized as a party to the fraud, you must abandon the fraud entirely and anything that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally the way that they have the fraud structured. Some people can't get out as easy as others because their life is wrapped into the system parasitically. The system will siphon all of their financial developments off by the fees and fines and taxes and levies and liens. And by the time they get done, the system that sucked all their money out and they don't got nothing to show for it. Now they foreclosing on their properties.
Right.
These were all fraudulent contracts that was ordered to be given to us through the judiciary by means of the Bar Association. That's why when these judges take these titles of nobility, they being knighted. When they knighted as an agent of the crown, then they given a title of nobility to acknowledge their receipt of that title,
Mm-hmm.
right? They can't pass the title on to their children because being knighted is called letters patent.
Mm-hmm.
Is the standing in their lifetime, they will reap the benefit of the gentry as an honorable, as an esquire, as long as they do the work for the crown. The, the crown's instructions is in the charter for the first bar. That's called a foundational document. The entirety of the Bar Association is built on King George's proclamation of the Bar Association to issue those titles of nobility for the people that work for the British Crown. Under the barristers over there and over here, they needed a barrister accreditation registry, and it became known as the Bar Association. Once you know what their purpose is, then you can unravel, well, who do they work with? They work with the bankers because they move in such massive amounts of currency that the currency have to be under the security of the judiciary's oversight. So like every court is a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you on the ship talking to the judge, you talking to the captain of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And the clerk is the navigator
Mm-hmm.
because you under admiralty and maritime jurisdiction.
Gotcha.
Before early colonial law, the chiefs used to be able to go in and remove their tribesmen from out of the custody of the corporation because it was a conflict of jurisdiction between the tribal jurisdiction of the land law and the
Mm-hmm.
admiralty jurisdiction of the maritime law.
You're
Right?
not getting any feedback, are you?
Uh-uh.
Okay, because I hear us, but it's also playing in the background. I just wanted to make sure okay. Okay.
I don't know what that is, man. That's probably them eavesdropping.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was saying. Unc, it's a pleasure, and I greatly appreciate you and all you do.
You welcome, sweetie. I'm glad I was able to have a conversation with you.
I love you, and that is from the bottom of my feet. Oh, I love you. I love you. Yes. Every time I know you're going to be on, I haven't even been online watching your videos because it's like something's resisting me. And I just got this message that you were live, and I jumped on and I said, I want to talk to you one day. And I also had sent you a message in January of 23. I was asking for some advice about a situation. I heard you. I heard you. And I realized I didn't really have to speak with you, but I heard you. I got the message. Everything worked out well for me. I'll put it that way.
I'm glad to hear
And
that,
my
sweetie.
family.
I'm always here. If I can say something that'll encourage, motivate, or inform somebody how to accomplish a goal, I did my service to the people. If I could help
Yeah.
one, and I could have helped more, but most of them thought I was crazy until they started seeing what I was telling them. And the
Hmm.
ones that was saying I ain't had no receipts because they was too lazy to go cross-reference the receipt.
Hmm.
So they just assume I don't have no references to what I be telling them, but everything that I'm telling them, I got references to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taking you back to who said it, who did it, where they come from, why they came, how many of them came, you know what I'm saying, the lie they
Yep.
told us, and all that. I know it all.
Hmm.
And that wasn't my agenda to be on here telling the people how we got tricked, but it was the path of least resistance to use social media. Notice the agent, notice the principal. That's to you eavesdropping motherfuckers that's tapping in down there in Raven Rock, sitting there watching, looking on the big old screen like we don't know you watching. I ain't
Hmm.
doing nothing wrong. I'm just telling the people the truth, and you just got to deal with it.
That's right. And free Larry Hoover and made the three kings walk the land. Free everyone under COINTELPRO and made a matriarch be restored. Yes.
And the
Yes.
one and the one law, the great law, and the
The
one
great law. That's
condition,
right.
restore the matriarchy. That's one
That's
law,
right.
one
One
condition,
law.
restore the
One
matriarchy.
condition.
By giving the earth back to the rightful heirs, heaven returns to earth with the divine feminine. And then all of the women be so much more pleasant to be
Yes.
around.
Ain't that the truth?
Because
Just
they ain't
peace and love.
got to
This
be,
sport stuff is getting old.
yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have to be in war mode no more. But this is why we need those sister groups. So y'all check, all y'all sisters that ain't ever heard me talk about the goddess glow up. Go look and investigate. She got video on Instagram and Facebook. Heidi Barble from the goddess glow up do women support groups that help the women be able to deal with each other and heal from the old wounds. She's really good at what she do, and she actually live the lessons that she teach, right?
Hmm.
So she tell you how to do what she doing, what worked for her, and then try to help you adjust it to fit your model, right?
Right. Right. Right.
So that was in the old Atlantean days, we used to have the sisters do what got my attention to her. She was doing that ritual on the ocean where all of the women were in white and they was going
Hmm.
into the water. That's where the old gospel song Wade in the Water come from.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
look on YouTube under voodoo baptism, and you will still see them doing the same water ritual in the voodoo culture. They do it in New Orleans, they do it in Haiti, they do it in Jamaica. These women get together in all white and they go into the freshwater springs and do rituals to cleanse the land. All of their rituals is geared toward cleansing, healing, and making the planet whole.
Hmm.
And all of the other priests have different functions. Under the red, they doing war conjure work,
Okay.
right? Under the blue, they doing administrative conjure work, right?
Hmm.
The clerical department, right? The black and
Okay.
gold is
Okay.
doing the organizing of the spiritual work at Big Mama House. That's the Vice Lord team, the team that's supposed to draw all of the rest of the teams back onto Big Mama House.
Hmm.
They told us that we was gangs because they don't. It gang mean tribe, but
Right.
as long as we don't know, because they use their media and social influence to make the word gang sound like a bad word. So now you don't know the other tribes on the land because they labeling you as some kind of criminal element that's different from a tribe. But all of the tribes magnetize to their chief. This
Mm-hmm.
is nature. You can't overcome the nature in the DNA of us tribing up. Now they got to figure out a way that when we tribe up to make us um, look bad for doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
they create conditions and they send in infiltrators to make us go the wrong direction on purpose so that they can use their media to smear us in a smear campaign so nobody won't never know that the Nation of Growth and Development, that's a whole tribe
Mm-hmm.
out of the Blue House of the old Mississippians. The black and gold is a whole tribe. The Panther is a whole tribe. We looking at it like they calling the Black Panthers a political organization. That's a tribal network. It's not a political organization. But they use
Right.
the word politics because they do deal with the social environment on the land, right? The Nation of Islam, they classify them as a religion, but they the research and investigative department of the tribal networks. They are the security training team to train functional security. That's why they focus on what they focus on, and everybody want to argue the doctrine, but they don't want to look at the tribal structure that's being established and how it is being used to link tribes all across the land on the level of respect.
Mm-hmm.
The Nation of Islam brothers is the only ones that can call Latin kings, Latin counts, Satin disciples, maniac disciples, gangster disciples, vice lords, crips, bloods. They the only group that can call all of these different tribes into one area and won't be no drama.
Yeah.
That's not an accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not an accident. This, if you look at how the ancestors been having us move over the last 500 years, you will realize that the story that they given us is a patch story trying to cover up certain key functions of the tribal movement across the land.
Mm-hmm.
So after they declared the ceasefire and we went into the Kandra War, the Seminoles, they never surrendered, right? So they not constitutionally obligated to follow anything that the United States do. They
Right.
they never agreed to anything by treaty because they had too many chiefs that disagreed with the system. What about all the rest of the non-treaty tribes? They called them outlaws. They called them belligerents. They called them foreign nation dependents. They called us illegal immigrants on our own land
Mm-hmm.
because we wasn't part of their system. So what do? Instead of continue to function as we function and disregard them and their system and remember who we are, we wanted their system because it looked prettier because everything was in called uniform commercial code,
Mm-hmm.
meaning everybody of government wore uniforms. Well, the
Right.
tribes wear uniforms, but they wear tribal uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
They identify by their appearance in the public by the uniform they wearing. It's just not the same as the uniform of the police that work for the Crown of England. So you got the police got to quit or join. They got to step down as police officers and be deputized by the sheriff or the U.S. Marshal, or they got their ass going to jail in the same lockup where they've been locking people up for all of these years.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to hold you, but one more question is, okay, I think I will send a message to you through Facebook because I can't put it in words right now, and I know we have a lot of people. We have 64 people from what I see right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give this time to someone else, and I am grateful and thankful for you receiving my call, and it was a pleasure and is a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you, sweetie. I'll talk to you later.
All right, much love.
Okay, who we got next? Keisha Williams. Kesha. See if they let you in. I might have to. There you go. Pop goes the weasel.
Keisha, yes,
How you doing?
I'm doing. How
I'm
are
doing
you?
good. I like your dreadlocks.
They braids,
I
I've
like braids too.
been trying to appreciate it. Well, what I wanted to ask was, I know patience is required. Patience is required in my own human design, and admittedly, I have been struggling with thoughts of self-deletion, but I understand, for the purpose I am here, that is not an option. So what should I be doing in the meantime until whatever this change looks like will happen?
Your self-care needs to be turned up from 2 to 10.
Okay.
Only worry about making yourself feel normalized in your own skin. Take plenty of spiritual baths to help balance out your inner energy with your physical energy. The candles, the rose petals, the oils, the whole nine with your spiritual baths. You got to get massages. If you got a boyfriend, a he got to give you regular. Okay. Well,
I don't even know about. Anyway, that ain't. That's a whole.
okay.
Anyway.
So at least once every 2 weeks, go to the spa and get you a massage, because the reason why I'm recommending that is negative memories energetically is trapped in the muscle, and it releases at the most inappropriate time. But if you get a regular massage, you'll be able to unlock that emotion that's trapped in your muscle to release. That's why the state that you go in while getting a massage is a quasi meditative state. That's open exchange with the universe, energy field. You need that frequency. When they release the pent up frustration or emotion and you feel the need to cry, you have to let the tears out. The breakdown in the physical is the sign of the breakthrough on the spiritual. The struggle in the physical world mean that you are in your book of life checking your resistance build up based on the training that you just finished putting yourself through. Your emotions is your navigation system. Always do self-talk and ask yourself, are my emotions in proper context? Is the proper emotion for what I'm seeing? Am I supposed to react this hysterical because somebody bumped the coffee table? That's probably extreme, so let me turn it down. Once you do that, this is called emotional intelligence quotient training, or EQ training. You adjusting your emotions to be truthful and honest with you, and to not give you overly stimulating information that doesn't need to be overly stimulated. That comes from self-neglect as a child because you wanted to please everybody else. Now, as an adult, it's no longer functional for you. So now you have to do the self-care. It's a part of your shadow work too.
Yeah. Damn.
You got to remember, you're supposed to go through the hard part, and the hard part is known in extreme cases by the desire to exit stage left with no return. That's put there as a stressor. You don't want to go toward the stressor. You want to look for the buffer. The buffer is the justification and the cause for you to be able to overcome this life obstacle? Some people look at their child and say, "Thank God for my child," Cheryl Pepsi Riley, right? Because that let them know that all the stuff they've been through, now they know all of that in order for their child not to have to endure it by you creating the proper environment for them to avoid repeating the generational mistakes. The more you develop those understandings with life itself, the less you, because I got a philosophy. I'm suicidal to the 9th degree. But it's one problem. Before I kill me, I know too many people that deserve to go. And that means that before I kill me, I got to get rid of all of them first. And that would upset society too much.
Yeah, it would. I know it. I know it. Ooh, I know it.
Right. So as you tune in and you start feeling that energy, your glow gonna turn on. You're not gonna notice it. But the people that you pass in the street gonna notice it because you are polishing the golden heart by coming to these awarenesses of the self and the functions of the struggles of life to allow you to be strong enough to receive the blessings, because they're going to be too heavy to carry if you ain't properly trained. We almost at the payout. We almost at the big aha moment.
I know. I know because patience is a big, huge part of my human design. That is one of the lessons I know for certain that I'm supposed to overcome on this in this
You're
life.
supposed to learn that patience has a limit.
That has a limit.
Patience has a limit. Because
explain that to me.
People exploit your patience. Right? Your patience is for those who respect your time and your energy. Patience is not for the people that came to siphon your life energy from you. If you put the patience where it's deserved, reciprocity and gratitude will open the channels of abundance so much faster in your life. Patience has a limit. Where you go from being the good giver to somebody's damn fool is where it ends.
Factual.
That's the limits of patience. But if I can be patient with you all day, if you gaining, accessing the information correctly, where you can apply it in your life and it'll bring out the best in you, then that's the best I could do. And if a person want me to come in and restructure their life and then they want to sit there and watch Netflix all day, I can't help them. I have no patience for that. But if a person that's sincere come, I can walk them through the very minutest steps of the process in order to put them on the right track. But if somebody come in thinking that they about to misuse me, I'm too busy being used by gratitude for you to misuse me with selfishness and greed. My kindness doesn't extend to that. Now you're about to turn on my hostilities. And I like when they turn on my hostilities.
Do I know it? Look, that's also what I struggle with too.
When they fuck around and find out.
No, you're definitely right. I think that's definitely my current position, and that's the self-doubt kicking in on when and when not to be patient. I don't want to, all that self-doubt. Okay, Cool. Okay. Thank you, Unc. I
I
appreciate
see you having a couple of aha moments over there. So it's not that you don't know this, but sometimes somebody got to tell you what you know in a certain way to help you see what you already understand. And that frees you up now because now you can work on application instead of trying to figure out how to read the instructions.
I got that mess. You're right. I got that message this morning. Applying. Yep, she literally told me that. Applying it. I have everything in my toolkit. I just need to
Yeah,
apply it.
but
Okay.
you needed to put in the order and the structure first.
True.
So what
Very
in,
true.
in cooking that's called mise en place. We lay out all of your ingredients before you start cooking exactly measured to the recipe. That's to help keep order in the kitchen while you're cooking. You see them do it on the cooking channel all the time. They have all the ingredients
I
set
do.
up. Yeah, that's called mise en place.
Yeah, I do it. I just didn't know the name. Interesting.
Yeah, it's from French cooking chefs lingo. They got their own.
Down in
They
NOLA.
got their own language too.
From NOLA. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where you?
Well, thank you, Unc.
Where you from?
Hmm?
Where you from?
Me? Illinois.
Illinois. Oh, okay. Norfolk. South.
My father from Mississippi. My mama from Illinois.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from them tribes. But you got the facial cranial structure of a Mississippian females.
Mm-hmm. I have the this and the widow's peak.
Mm-hmm.
And the I don't know what it's called at the kitchen, but it's so when the geishas they paint on their. I went to Japan this year, and I met some of my soul tribe, I believe, and when the geishas put on their makeup, they have a pattern they do on their neck, and my kitchen is naturally shaped like that. I gotta do this matrix in the work world and all that BS been keeping me from
Stop.
investigations.
I need you to do something.
Yes,
Take
sir.
a deep breath, hold it for a count of 3, and let it out slow. And release. So I noticed something in the conversation. Your energy got erratic. Most men don't notice it. But if you notice it and stop you for a minute to breathe and help everything that you're about to say come out smoother and clearer, and it'll make the communication so much simpler and easier that an argument can't happen. These is the techniques of understanding the communication that's been taken from us. The men is supposed to be taught as boys how to recognize the change in the woman's energy so he can help her to stay balanced. Because if he can't help her stay balanced, how the hell he gonna stay balanced? Okay, you can finish saying what you're saying, sweetie.
Thank you. There is when the geishas do their makeup in Japan, there is a symbol that appears to me, and my natural kitchen is shaped like that symbol, and I don't know where to begin to figure out the meaning of that. But as soon as I saw it, it triggered something in my subconscious, so I must figure out what that means. But overall, I do feel like I have gotten to a new stage in my life that will bring me new lessons, new complex lessons. Like you said, it is me applying what I have in my emotional toolkit to make it through this level.
So by calibrating your emotions, because you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to the whole
No.
world, but you can't lie to yourself because you was listening to that conversation in your head when you came up with the lie. Right? So when you calibrate your emotions not to exaggerate, it makes them only spike when necessary. But now that you're aware that your emotions is under control, you can think clearer under the pressure of the heightened emotion. Right. And a lot of times, just stopping for a minute and taking that breath you just took is enough to get you on track where you're ahead of the problem as it's arising. The 3 little seconds, deep breath, that pause before you say something, before you do something. The breath is the spirit, as spiritus. So when you take that breath, you are relying on the universe to fill you with the frequency necessary to overcome whatever potential obstacle is in front of you. And then once you trust the universe by practicing the ritual, the universe will then tell you when to do it before you even know it's necessary. You'll see yourself just do it. And then you'll have a handle on whatever you about to deal with. Whether it's how am I gonna cook for all 37 of my cousins that's coming to dinner this week, to oh shit, that car accident up ahead, can I help? Right. But that breath, you'll be able to have like awareness ahead of time because spirit is looking for when to let you know you need to breathe before you get there. So that you send spirit out ahead of you to find the path. So once you go down the path, spirit lets you know that you're on the right path because that's when you take that breath. But you have to calibrate your senses. If you train them, they will perform. And you got it in your blood, so it's gonna come natural to you once you start practicing.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm gonna take somebody else up, okay?
Okay.
All right,
I love you.
too, sweetie.
Bye.
Come on, Tyler. Tyler Simone.